Everyone, if I could have your attention please, this is very important. The players have had enough and they are leaving the game like crazy. They simply cannot handle the stomp. What are we gonna do? I'll take any ideas. I say, we ghost them, like we always do. Normally, I'd agree with you, but we are all out of DLC skins. You mean no more distractions? Like I said, we gotta do something. She straight up made a woman cry on stream. Any ideas? What if Sheeva herself takes a bit of damage every time she stomps? Like fall damage. I mean, she does fall a long way. Normally, I'd agree with you, but this isn't Skyrim. Plus, we all agreed that only Scarlet is allowed to self-harm. That is true, we did agree on that. How about this? We make the stomp cost 1 variation slot. That way, it takes 2 slots if you want the stomp and the ability to aim. How about we have Ed Boon post more troll tweets on Twitter? That always keeps him busy for at least a week. Ed Boon's too busy working on the Marvel vs. DC vs. Family Guy vs. Simpsons fighting game. Right, I forgot about that. Why not just make the stomp cost meter? I don't know. Normally, I'd agree with you, but only Devorah gets to waste her meter on basic fundamental attacks. It's what she gets for killing Melina and Scorpion. I got it. What if the stomp was neutral on hit? That way the player can't just keep looping it every time it lands. And how about more recovery frames when it misses? That way it's easier to punish. And we remove the ducking frames when she lands. Finally, delaying or aiming the stomp will cost 1 defensive bar. That way the mix-up is still there, but you can't keep abusing it over and over again. Because once the Sheeva player is out of meter, the opponent knows what to expect. Oh, I know he didn't just say that. What's wrong, guys? When exactly did you start working here? It's true underdog! I knew it! Come on, guys. I just want everyone to enjoy the game. I want it to last. I wanted to keep playing for more than 2 years. Please, no. Get him! No! Now they'll think twice before asking us for anything. And I mean anything. You want us to chat with you on Twitter? Nope. You want that frame data adjusted? How about no? You want to buff Shao Kahn? Are you out of your mind? Where do you get off thinking any company cares about their consumers? So either NetherRealm is sidekick or Destiny itself has a sense of humor. Because that skit you just watched was recorded by me on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, the very next day, NetherRealm announces, hey, we're gonna have a small patch coming tomorrow on Thursday. And wouldn't you know it, one of the things they changed in that small update was Sheeva Stomp. That's right, NetherRealm did actually nerf Sheeva Stomp, and they nerfed it in a pretty big way using several methods, some of which were actually discussed in that parody video you just watched. So without any further ado, I guess we'll just switch over to the actual game and talk about the changes. If you enjoyed that skit, please leave a like down below, and if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and slam that bell as well. That way you get every notification and don't miss any future videos. Without any further ado, on to MK11. So perhaps one of the biggest changes is the recovery time. Look how long it takes Sheeva to jump. I'm holding up right there, and did you see how long it took me to actually jump? That's how long the recovery is. Look at that, 61 frames. And you know what that means. This move is now death if the Sheeva player misses. Look how long it takes her to block if she misses this thing. You have all day to punish her. You can pretty much go to the bathroom, come back, and still have time to punish her. Just don't wash your hands though. If you do that, you won't have enough time. And keep in mind, this delay also happens if she hits somebody who's armored. So if they're doing a fatal blow, or if Baraka is running with his flag, she will have the exact same recovery when she hits an armored opponent. And of course, the armored attacks in this game are very rare outside of fatal blows, but just keep that in mind. If she misses, or if she hits an armored attack, she has really long recovery now. We're talking a full 30 frames. So that is a half second longer to recover than it was before. That's a very nice change. For me personally, that was one of my biggest recommendations, just make it easier to punish. And NetherRealm actually did that, so thank you NetherRealm, that was a really good change. And then for change number 2, the delayed stomp now only has 1 timing. So what does that mean? Well, for anyone who's not aware, it used to behave more like the wake-ups in Mortal Kombat 11. You see, back in the day when this game first came out, if you delayed your wake-up, you could actually release the button a bit sooner and your character would get up earlier. And as a result, it was pretty tricky to try and hit the opponent as they were getting up, because maybe they hold it down the whole time, or maybe they release it a bit sooner. It was very tough to know when they would get up. And Sheeva's delayed stomp used to work the exact same way as the early wake up. It didn't have a single set timing. Sure, if you held the button down, she would come down at the last frame. However, if you released left trigger a bit early, then she would come down sooner, and there was no set timing. She had 30 different versions. Or in other words, whenever you released that trigger, she would come down a bit early for the delayed stomp. And this of course made it tougher for the opponent to know know when you were actually going to come down because there wasn't a set timing, but now there is, and it's much easier to time. If she doesn't come down right away, then she has to be doing the delayed stomp, and there's only one set timing. So with enough practice, you'll learn that timing and how to counter both of the stomps. And then for the final stomp nerf, the hitbox has actually been reduced. So in other words, it doesn't hit as much to her left or right, and possibly even below her. So for example, right now I'm playing as Devora, and look at that, I can just walk out of the way of the stomp. That is how much smaller the hitbox is. Look at that, I'm practically inside of her mesh and it's still missing me. That's a really big nerf. Once again, the hitbox has been reduced, I imagine to the left and right, but possibly even below her as well, and as a result, you can just walk out of the way of this thing. So essentially, unless you're already doing something, Sheeva Stomp is no longer going to hit you. Unless you get scared and just block like a deer in the headlights, you can avoid this thing just by walking. It's no longer a threat unless Sheeva interrupts you when you're doing some sort of attack. So as you can see, Sheeva Stomp has essentially been neutered. It is no longer the threat it used to be. I think it's still going to be a really good scrub killer, but it's not nearly as effective as it used to be. And I'm honestly pretty happy about that because I actually really enjoyed playing Sheeva. I thought she was a very fun character, but everybody hated her because of the stomp, and as a result, I felt bad about using her. But now, thankfully, the stomp has been nerfed, and as a result, people won't abuse it as much, and I think a lot of the stigma around Sheeva will slowly start to fade away. And there's actually one more nerf for Sheeva. It doesn't have to do with the stomp, but I might as well mention it here. She does have lower health now. They've reduced it by 50. So instead of having 1,000 health, Sheeva now has 950 health. Not a huge reduction, and I'll be honest, it doesn't quite make sense because she is a Shokan. You'd think her health would be kinda high, but maybe NetherRealm just wanted to drive the point home that they were listening and they understand we're frustrated with Sheeva, so they made her health a bit lower. At any rate, that's about it for the Sheeva changes, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, once again, leave a like down below. It really does help the channel out a ton, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you suplex that button and ring the bell to not miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.